ताकि इसमें विवाद न रहे, इसलिए जो रिजर्व्ड पावर्स हैं जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के हैं और केंद्र सरकार के बिहाफ पर जो लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर उस अधिकार का प्रयोग करते हैं, उसको स्पष्ट कर दिया है। इट्स अ क्लैरिफिकेटरी नोटिफिकेशन in terms of the Constitution, so that there is no confusion as to who exercise what power. There are enough powers with the Delhi government, there are some powers which are reserved with the Lieutenant Governor, और हम ये नहीं चाहते कि confusion की वजह से दफ्तरों के ऊपर ताले लगने शुरू हो जाएं। इसलिए शासन चले और जो चुनी हुई सरकार है वो अच्छा शासन चलाए, इसलिए उसके अधिकारों की उसको स्पष्टता रहे। ये केंद्र सरकार की जिम्मेवारी है कि एक क्लैरिफिकेटरी नोटिफिकेशन जारी करे जो केंद्र सरकार ने किया है, ताकि दिल्ली सरकार अच्छे तरीके से अपनी जिम्मेवारी निभा पाए।
73 रविंद्र।
जेटली जी, एक छोटा सवाल है कि आपने कहा कि देश के अंदर हमने जीएसटी लाया, टैक्सेशन को सिंप्लीफाई किया, कोल स्पेक्ट्रम ट्रांसपेरेंट ढंग से ऑक्शन किया, और विदेश में ये
आवाज तो मैं पहचान गया था।
रविंद्र बोल रहा हूं। और विदेशों में प्रधानमंत्री 18 देश के घूम के देश का प्रभाव बढ़ा रहे हैं, ऐसा भी आपने कहा। लेकिन देश में ही एक तरह से दांडी यात्रा कर रहे हैं राहुल गांधी और कह रहे हैं कि सूट बूट की सरकार है, किसानों के खिलाफ काम कर रही है, मछुआरों के खिलाफ काम कर रही है। आपको लग रहा है कि जो एक साल की जो आपका अचीवमेंट है उस पर पानी फेरने का काम कर रहे हैं राहुल गांधी?
देखिए, पहले हम स्पष्ट कर लें कि 55 दिन वेकेशंस के लिए जाना वो एक विदेशी यात्रा होती है, और देश का प्रतिनिधित्व करना, स्टेट विजिट्स पे जाना, वो दूसरे प्रकार का कार्यक्रम होता है। दूसरा, 2013 का जो कानून लाए थे ये लोग, वो रूरल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, सिंचाई, रूरल इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन, ग्रामीण सड़कें, रूरल एरियाज का इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन और रूरल एरियाज में हाउसिंग, इसको रोकता है। और इसलिए मैं बार बार ये कहता हूं कि 2013 का कानून ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों के खिलाफ था, किसानों के खिलाफ था, और ये जो उसकी कमजोरी है 2015 के अंदर ठीक की गई है।
33।
Sir, you said that land bill will be one of the priorities of the government in the next session, the monsoon session. But the land bill is currently with the joint committee. The opposition, mainly the Congress, is insisting that they will not allow passage of land bill in the Rajya Sabha, despite it is being given to the joint committee.
You see, no political party has a right to say, I will not allow it to be passed. They have a right to vote against it. And when a political party says, I will vote against it, the numbers will eventually decide whether it is passed or not. And I think the numbers are very clear.
Yeah, Pooja.
Sir, the exports growth has been in double-digit negative zone for month after month now, and the Commerce Minister said that she believes, just like the RBI does, that the rupee needs to lose some value now. Your position has always been that it should be market determined, but do you think there's some scope for the rupee to be allowed to weaken a bit?
I have always believed, and I am reiterating, it should be market determined. It must find its own level. Its real strength must be reflected. Also on this export growth, let this confusion be clarified that there are two overwhelming factors. The first, the fall in the oil prices. Now, oil prices bring down your imports because we import a lot of oil. There is also a lot of oil products from our refineries that we export. Therefore, there is an 18% impact of oil in the export basket also. So when the oil prices come down, they impact on both. That is first factor. Secondly, the global slowdown has direct impact on the volume of exports. But that is not to say that I am in a way justifying the fall. I am only trying to understand the reasons. So once global economy picks up, domestic economy picks up, obviously these figures will change. But for exports to grow, the international economy, the economic cycle of slowdown also has to reverse a little.
Yeah, that gentleman there.
Yeah. Sir, you mentioned that the country is not satisfied with 7.5 to 8% growth rate. So as the finance minister of the country, what is your dream growth rate?
You see, I think India has a potential to touch a double-digit growth. And therefore, to reach that potential, what is it we require? I think India must realize that it is their opportunity. There are competing economies in the world which are not exactly doing so well. You can be the natural recipient of a lot of international investment. Our own decision-making has to be quick and fast. And therefore, if it takes us 2003 to 2014 to pass the insurance law, if it takes us from 2006 to 2015 to decide on the GST policy, we don't send the best signals globally. Therefore, when we obstruct, we must realize that it is eventually that journey to 10% that we are obstructing. And therefore, when my friend Ravinder Singh asked that question, I have no hesitation in repeating what I have already said. The principal opposition party has positioned itself against growth and development. They must reconsider their position in terms of the damage that they can do.
Yeah, that.
अरुण जी, सवाल इधर से सर। अखिलेश शर्मा, एनडीटीवी से। मोदी सरकार दो बड़े वादों पर आई थी, भ्रष्टाचार और महंगाई। भ्रष्टाचार पर आपने कहा कि पिछले 1 साल में काफी हद तक काबू पाया गया है। महंगाई के मोर्चे पर इस सरकार ने क्या किया है?
देखिए, महंगाई के मोर्चे पर आंकड़े अपनी कहानी स्वयं सुनाते हैं और उसमें कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स और होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स दोनों कम हुए हैं। ये कमी जो है, एक कारण स्वाभाविक है कि तेल की कमी की वजह से भी कमी आई है, लेकिन तेल के अतिरिक्त फूड प्राइसिंग में भी और कमोडिटी प्राइसिंग का भी एक इंटरनेशनल इंपैक्ट है। फूड का जो मैनेजमेंट हुआ है पिछले 1 वर्ष में, उससे भी कीमतें नियंत्रण में रही हैं। इसका जो अपवाद है, वो अपवाद होता है कि जो साइक्लिकल इंक्रीजेस कई बार हो जाते हैं। किसी 1 महीने में सब्जी का हो सकता है, किसी 2 महीने में पल्सेस का हो सकता है, लेकिन वो साइक्लिकल है, वो पैटर्न नहीं है। और इसलिए इन्फ्लेशन कंट्रोल इस सरकार की एक पॉजिटिव अचीवमेंट रही है।
राहुल, 72.
One is regarding the fact that you have done a lot, as you have told us, almost everybody, we know about it. There have been policies, and you have also said several times in the last few years that policies and legislations don't win elections. You have done a lot as far as economics is concerned. Will you like to do some kind of political course correction as far as economics is concerned? One. And second, when it comes to FDI and multi-brand retail, should I, as an investor, look at the BJP policy of no to FDI and multi-brand retail, or the government policy which is still existing on paper?
You see, you are absolutely right. Good governance always has to be blended with clever politics. And therefore, we are conscious of this. It is for this reason that our party has been extremely active in forging alliances wherever necessary, expanding social bases, expanding membership. And therefore, we are conscious of even our past experiences, and we've learnt on that basis. I think the investor is cleverer than both you and me. And therefore, he looks at everything, including his own prospects, before he invests.
Here, 24, here.
So, you have to say about the controversial statement made by ministers. Like yesterday, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said that those who want to eat beef should go to Pakistan. Don't you think that these kind of statements the image of...
देखिए, इतने बड़े देश में लोगों का अपना लहजा होता है और इसलिए मुझे नहीं लगता कि हमारे शासन पे या हमारी नीतियों पे ऐसे बयानों का असर पड़ता है। लोगों को अपनी जिम्मेवारी भी समझनी चाहिए, ये तो स्वाभाविक है और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इसको बार बार कहा है। ये दूसरी बात है कि आपके चैनल्स के ऊपर इन स्टेटमेंट्स का अपना आकर्षण बन जाता है।
46, प्रशांत।
सर, प्रशांत हूँ एबीपी न्यूज से। अभी कुछ दिन पहले आरबीआई गवर्नर रघुराम राजन ने एक बयान दिया है। उन्होंने कहा कि जो उम्मीदें लगाई गई थी मोदी सरकार से वो अव्यवहारिक थी। क्या सरकार भी ऐसा मानती है कि उनसे कुछ अव्यवहारिक उम्मीदें लगाई गई हैं नरेंद्र मोदी से?
मुझे लगता है कि सरकार से जो उम्मीदें लगाई थी वो व्यवहारिक थी। इस देश ने जो इस देश के विपक्ष से उम्मीदें लगाई थी वो अव्यवहारिक निकली है।
Yeah, lady there.
Sir, inflation has come down. Common man and industry both, they're looking for some respite on interest rate fronts. Can we expect something? What?
You have asked a very good question, but to the wrong person.
But do you think it's time for interest rates to start moving down?
My views are well known. It is.
Yeah, 29 here, please. 1 minute, please hold on. We'll come back to you. Yeah.
Sir, it is Ujjwal. It's Ujjwal from Newsrise. Sir, as in your introductory remark, you said that NPAs have gone down in March quarter to 5.2%, but still it is very high, it's ever 5%. Recently, RBI governor said that the banks are overexposed to infrastructure projects. So how do you see the road ahead? How do you...
See, I am, let me clarify. When I said from 5.64 it has come down to 5.2, I would take it as only an initial indicator. Because at times when you are trying to revive the economy, some indicators can always be patchy. They can be one indicator and next month you can have another indication. So I am not drawing any final conclusion from this. If this pattern continues over 2-3 more quarters, then I will draw a conclusion that there is a pattern in it. So I am keeping my fingers crossed that for a turnaround in the banking sector. Obviously with the growth of the economy, a turnaround has to take place.
And steps taken.
But these are also high. Therefore, steps in the direction, obviously, is the economy growth is one step itself. At the end of the day, we have to do the recapitalization fast.
116 there, please.
मेरा नाम कृष्ण मोहन शर्मा है, न्यूज नेशन से हूं। अरुण जी, एक सवाल ये है कि सब कुछ करने के बाद, इन्फ्लेशन कम करने की बात की जा रही है, इंटरेस्ट रेट कम करने की बात की जा रही है, हायर स्टडीज कितना महंगा होता जा रहा है, इस पे किसी की चिंता नहीं है। एक आम आदमी अपने बच्चे को किसी अच्छे स्कूल में पढ़ा नहीं सकता, कॉलेज में भी नहीं पढ़ा सकता।
आपकी चिंता बहुत जेन्युइन है और इसलिए, और ये समस्या पूरी दुनिया में है, हायर एजुकेशन का जो कॉस्ट है, और शायद यही कारण है कि एक इनिशिएटिव हम लोग ले रहे हैं कि जो क्वालिटी इंस्टीट्यूशंस हायर एजुकेशन की हैं वो केंद्र सरकार के सपोर्ट से हर राज्य में बने। अब उससे पूरी समस्या हल नहीं होगी, लेकिन जो बहुत होशियार बच्चे हैं उनको कुछ लाभ तो निश्चित रूप से मिलेगा।
103 there.
Arun ji, you have been the defense minister as well, and there is an ex-serviceman sitting beside you. What is the situation of position of one rank, one pension? Is it feasible as a finance minister? Do you see that's a feasible proposition?
You see, one rank, one pension is an unambiguous commitment as far as the present government is concerned. It will be implemented. I understand that the Ministry of Defence is in dialogue. The Defence Minister has spoken to me also. at a very advanced stage. What is the methodology of calculating? There is different ways of defining that one rank, one pension. What is the optimum affordable definition of that, I think is what the Ministry of Defence is working at.
Yeah, this gentleman here.
Sir, Venkatraman from Dinamala.
I know your question.
Sir, regarding the GST, you mentioned about very detailed about the implementation of GST. From the day one...
You have taken us by surprise.
No, it follows. See, on the issue of GST, from the day when the Tamil Nadu government was delegated to that one, how do you going to convince the government of Tamil Nadu, since the new Chief Minister is going to take over tomorrow, are you going to meet Madam Jayalalitha and in consultation whether you are going to get support for this?
I have spoken to Jayalalitha ji myself. I have discussed this issue with her in person and on several occasions, as indeed I have done with all other leaders of other political parties. The AIDMK is the only political party which has had some reservations, and I have assured all the MPs and the government of Tamil Nadu that Tamil Nadu under no circumstances will lose a single rupee. And if it does, the central government would make good that loss in accordance with the formulation that we have made. Our own assessment is that even Tamil Nadu will substantially gain in terms of volumes when the GST is implemented.
Yeah, sir. One minute. One question.
Second question. I'll let you know.
Yeah, Sapna.
Sir, one quick question. Sapna from CNBC TV 18. Yeah. So one quick question. You spoke about strategic sales. You spoke about the divestment pipeline being ready. You're also indicating towards some strategic sale happening in the hotel sector, government hotels. But you know, last couple of years we have been hearing about big issues, big companies like HZL, Balco. Then you have a certain Sooty stock also ready. So could there be some clarity in terms of whether the government...
We are very clear. We'll keep your suggestions in mind.
No, I mean, will there be any movement as such, or there is no requirement as of now, sir?
I'll tell you, we are in the business of governance, and therefore, in the business of governance, as I just explained, take the case of subsidy rationalization. In less than 365 days, what was only a slogan, a gradual movement in that direction has begun. The deserving continue to get it, the leakages are being plugged, and it has almost been bloodless. Therefore, various programs and policies of the government, including disinvestment, we have a clear roadmap. Whatever suggestions are made, we'll keep that in mind. And as I just indicated, the reform agenda of this government, our plate is full for the next few years.
I have time for only 3 more questions. Number 12 here, please. Yeah, hold on, yeah, please. Please be patient. Please be patient.
Yeah. Sir, what is the government's roadmap for subsidy?
Who's asking the question?
Yes. I'm Ratnajyoti, I work with Reuters. What is the government's roadmap for subsidy sharing for upstream oil companies like ONGC? Because it is very important.
We have formulated a particular policy. I think the Expenditure Secretary will explain to you.
I think the policy is very clear now. We have 2 lines of subsidies on this, one for LPG and one for kerosene. In fact, this has been discussed with the Ministry of Petroleum. There is no arrangement of what you're saying, this formula for under recovery. Because now LPG is also basically everything is decontrolled. What we are doing is a direct cash transfer. So now the companies are free to use that money, invest it wherever they want. It's a clean, straight setup in which we have cleaned out the accounts now.
Yeah.
अरुण जी, मेरा सवाल आपसे है और दो सवाल हैं, छोटे छोटे सवाल हैं। आपने अपने कार्यकाल को गिनाया, एक साल में क्या क्या हुआ है, लेकिन आप पार्टी के नेता आपके कार्यशैली पे क्वेश्चन मार्क लगा रहे हैं। कुमार आशुतोष ने बोला है कि अरुण जेटली खुद तो अभी तक कोई चुनाव नहीं लड़के आए हैं और जो वित्त मंत्री बने हैं उसका हर्जाना देश की जनता भुगत रही है। और दूसरा सवाल मेरा ये है, मैं सारे मीडिया की तरफ से ये सवाल पूछना चाहूंगी कि ऐसे बहुत सारे चैनल्स हैं, छोटे छोटे अखबार हैं जो बंद हो जाते हैं, पढ़े लिखे नौजवान लड़के लड़कियां जो हैं बेरोजगार हो जाते हैं। क्या आपके मंत्रालय की तरफ से, सरकार की तरफ से उनके लिए कुछ किया जाएगा रोजगार देने के लिए, जो पत्रकार बेरोजगार हो जाते हैं? दो सवाल है मेरे सर।
मैंने आपका दोनों सुझाव नोट कर लिए।
कोई जवाब नहीं देना चाहेंगे सर?
थैंक यू मैडम।
76 there. 1 minute. Please hold on. Please hold on.
Mr. Jaitley, Hina from NDTV Profit. I wanted to ask you two questions. One, on that fuel subsidy. Now, the companies will have been given a free hand to decide as far as the subsidy is concerned. Like, government is going to bear the entire thing. So, what's that threshold level that you are targeting as far as crude oil is concerned? Because last year it did benefit you, but now there has been a rebound in the prices. Second, on one hand, your government is being labelled as a suit boot ki sarkar, which is
Madam, I'll just interrupt you. I have seen very interesting comments. The first set of comment I see is that you are pro-corporate. So the government is pro-corporate. The next day I see the same newspaper writing the corporates are anti-government. So I think those in this stage must now make up their mind as to what the actual position is.
My
so that I could
question
be
is
educated.
my question is that only. Basically, on one hand, you've got Make in India, which is your flagship campaign, which you're there, which you're working with, and you have to incentivize the industry to help it grow ahead. And on the other hand, you're being labelled as a suit boot ki sarkar. So how do you resolve this? Double.
I think this is a dilemma you people have to resolve. We are very clear. You see, I have already explained in an interview, please. I can answer the question, you can ask then. No, you can't interrupt her answer. You see, I have already answered this. The UPA government's economic policy initially was not clear. And what led to the fall and unpopularity of the UPA was crony capitalism. Coal blocks, mining, spectrum, large number of prosecutions, ministers, industries landing up in jail. This was all a result of that. As far as we are concerned, we are reforming and liberalizing, but there is no place for crony capitalism. Secondly, there is some lack of clarity in the minds of a questioner, as I explained. The first question is, are you pro-corporate? The second is, why are corporates anti-you? Now, I think you must develop a clarity as far as the position is concerned. This government is pro-growth, pro-development. Our social security programs are going to be one of the strongest ever in this country. But certainly, the policy will be one of arm's length distance in terms of decision making from individual business houses.